What's up? It is me, Zilch again. How's it going? Kind of in a bit of a happy mood because I finally managed to kill the BF-109K using the Spitfire. Been trying to do that since I got the module, I guess, a few days ago. Still can't seem to make a meaningful connection in the head-on pass. So this fight, I decided to stick with almost entirely the horizontal plane, which is kind of against the advice I was given by one of my appreciated viewers. He suggested using the Spitfire as an energy fighter, but I'm not quite up to the... That requires a lot of confidence and control in your aircraft. I've been flying the Mustang long enough to be sort of comfortable doing that, but still new with the Spitfire and still trying to feel the limits of it. You'll notice here I stall a few times, I almost black out a few times. Like right about here you can see, you can feel that little buffet. Got to give it credit to Eagle Dynamics here, because you can almost feel the buffet in the wings when you start getting that little pre-stall indicator, that little shake, shake, shake. Your plane starts to feel a little weird. It's not doing what you want it to. So there's that. I got to be more aware of that, and trying to use it much more. Well, like I said, still trying to get used to it. Trying to use a lighter hand on the stick, especially on the pitch axis, because you can really haul the nose around. The problem is it bleeds your energy, and it also makes your pilot want to black out. And fighting against the AI like I am here, that's a big problem, because he can't black out, and he doesn't really lose energy, and he doesn't get overstressed airframes and stuff like that, so he can just abuse his airplane as much as he wants and basically outperform you. Now, I could complain about that, I probably will to some extent, but see right here, I'm trying to follow him, and I should be able to in this airplane, but it just doesn't like that. I think I stalled it out again. Remember, you can stall at any airspeed. And here you get the blackout effects. So like I said, the AI has every advantage over you. But to me, that just means that it's good training. It's going to make you, if you're going to overcome the difficult challenge, you'll just be better at the end of the day. So, I'm still getting the feel for the Spitfire, trying to push, trying to get a feel for the limits and the indicators of, when I'm pushing it too far, and more, trying to get a lot more gunnery practice in. You notice in this dogfight, I think I'm coming up on one. I put myself in a really good firing position, but like not quite handy with the guns and the gun sight yet. The visibility forward is pretty bad, so I think I'm coming up on a good saddle position here. Yeah, like right there I should be able to kill him, but I'm all over the place. And instead I overshoot him and he gets a nice shot on me. I mean, the AI in the BF-109 and DCS to me behaves like it's a BF-109 airframe powered by a big 15 engine. It just doesn't run out of energy. It can climb and dive like nobody's business and still maintain its amazing turn rate, and it's also damn near bulletproof. You have to get a good, either a lot of hits or a lucky one on the cockpit, or straight in the engine. We'll blow the wing off. It just doesn't want to die. So yeah, this fight, a couple of exceptions. I do make my kill in the vertical, spoiler alert. But I try to keep it as horizontal as possible. I want to stay inside of his little climby, divey, zoomy behavior. And right here, I think, is when I noticed that my engine was about to overheat, so I just ran it straight and level for a while, build up airspeed and a dive to cool run some air through the radiator a little bit, give it a little breather. Unfortunately, while I do that, he has a nice opportunity to come around behind me. I don't think AI gets engine overheats either. They can just run the engine at 100% the entire time. If I could do that, I'd have no problem killing him. Let's see. Check that out. Almost blacked out. The Spitfire can just keep pulling and pulling and pulling and expose your pilot to a lot of G-forces, and even though your plane is capable of doing a lot, your person inside of it isn't. So you gotta watch that too. And light hands on this stick, or you could, if you can't, if you don't really feel like adjusting your hand pressure on the joystick or whatever you're happen to be using, you can also adjust the joystick curve. I tend to not like to do that though. If every airplane feels the same when you're flying it, you know, it kind of takes a lot of the interest and diversity out of DCS. So right here's another opportunity. I feel like I should have been able to make a good kill right here. I mean, he's perfectly lined up. There's that damn nose getting in the way of my deflection shot again. So I jam the throttle forward, max RPM, and I'm almost out of energy here. Just trying. Boom! Got him. So for somebody who doesn't really like to follow BF-109s up into the vertical, that seems to be when I make most of my kills on them. As you notice, I have blown my head gasket. See that white smoke? Anyway, I'm really happy, and I don't really care about my blown engine, especially because there's an airfield right there, so while the enemy pilot gets to watch me land, he's dangling in a parachute. So I try to milk every last little bit of power out of the engine, trying to get as close to the runway as possible, knowing it's going to fail any second now. Boom. There it goes. So, just the RPM to course, and it keeps doing that sputtering behavior, which is throwing off my controls. So I shut off the fuel flow and cut the magnetos to make sure the engine isn't going anymore, which will have some consequences here in a second. Watch this. So I'm trying to keep my landing gear up as long as possible, keep my airspeed up. And I really appreciate the low wing loading in the Spitfire at this point. It really is pretty good as a glider compared to the Mustang or something. So here I think, okay, flaps down, but I can't get my gear to drop. I'm like, what the hell? And I think that has something to do with my engine being out. See that on the bottom right, you can see me trying to mess with the lever. It just won't go. So right about here, I'm like, oh, I remember. I've got an emergency release. Oof. There it goes. And they locked down just before touchdown. Bit of an ugly landing, but I managed not to break any systems. Just scrape my wingtips up a little bit. Maybe a little more than a little bit. Like they say, any landing you can walk away from. Ta-da! Alright, so stay tuned for the debriefing and TAC view. Oh man, I got shot up pretty good, didn't I? Always like to see what hits actually landed here. He got me a few times too. I pounded him. Oh yeah. Okay, so I want to start this debriefing out by saying that's the first time I've managed to shoot down the BF-109. I've tried about 10 times or so. It's always something. I either black out right as I'm about to make my shot, or my engine blows, or I'm right about to make my kill, and I stall my plane. So it's been pretty frustrating, but... and I almost didn't make it this time, as you saw earlier. I'm gonna run this in double time again, so we're not here all day. You still get the idea. Trying to make my head-on shot, and I miss it, of course. So I've been trying to fly the Spitfire as an angles fighter because it's got a better turn rate than this guy here. My accuracy is still horrible, and I'm also trying to feel out the limits of the Spitfire. It can turn on a dime, but that doesn't mean your pilot can withstand the G's. So even though I'm hauling my nose around, making progress on the Bandit, like that, I just did a stall. And of course, he's ready to capitalize on it. The BF-109 AI is just, how to put it? If you fought against it, you realize it flies like it's got the thrust of a MiG-15, and you can't catch it. It can climb, dive, it seems like it's immune to gravity. But instead of complaining about it, I'm trying to use it as a way to train myself to be better. I might complain a little bit. As you can see, I'm trying to stay on the horizontal while he goes vertical, and in any other plane I'd be very hesitant to do that, but because the Spitfire turns so well, sometimes it seems to pay off. Like right here, I think I saddle up fairly... Is it here? Feels like I'm right about to make the kill, but first off, can't make my gun solution, and second, I overshot the target and had to break away, giving him a perfect firing opportunity on me. And that's the dangers of attacking at high speed. If you don't make the kill, you better have a good escape plan ready. Check this out, though. I got more speed than he does after that, so it allows me to do 2 circles to his 1, almost. Say 2 3/4. Actually 2. Check that out. So, get some hits and a climb here. A little bit of stall there. So he does have a better thrust ratio, but I can outturn him still. So the firing opportunities, firing opportunities are there. It's just a question of taking advantage of them. Practicing your gunnery in the Spitfire is a bit of a challenge. I'm not quite used to it. I should have killed him back then when I overshot. So check that out. I love the turn rate in the Spitfire. I mean, it gave him a good shot at me, but I can just turn into him and spoil his shot. It's a little bit more intuitive to dogfight, if you can keep it within its limits. That seems to be the biggest, two biggest challenges to me so far. Keeping the Spitfire within its limits without stalling it or blowing up the engine. Here's a good firing opportunity right here, which I think I managed to squander. Miss. Nicked him a little bit. Boom! That's my kill, actually. That wasn't a squandered shot. Let's check that out again. So he does a zoom climb, but I'm faster than he is right now, so I take the risk. Right as we're both about to stall, I hose him down. And I'm really happy about that. Let's watch that again. Here's my indicated airspeed. Going down to stall. He's about to stall too. Boom. And at this point I realize my engine is blown. Luckily the airfield is right here. And I'm like, let's see if we can make it back to base. Let's watch this humiliated guy here in his parachute. Watch while I land my airplane with no engine. Let's speed this up a little bit. Yeah, so it's a dead stick landing. I haven't really practiced those in this airplane, but I managed to keep it more or less together. again, thanks for watching. I'm kind of proud of that. I finally getting a handle on how to fight these guys. Seems like turn, 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 but also don't blow your engine like I do here. I'm like, I gotta make it, gotta make it, gotta make it. So I blew my engine right at the apex of that, at the peak of that climb. Got a little bit more power just to get over here to set up a landing, and managed to set it down without breaking anything. Just a little bit of scrapes. Oh, you'll notice too, if you go back and watch the video, I couldn't get my landing gear down, and I think it's because I shut off my engine altogether. The electric system cut out, so I had to use the emergency release. You notice I reached down and pulled that little red lever? That's what that was. Alright, thanks for watching, and again, you guys who are watching this have been really, really helpful and cool about giving tips and pointing out little mistakes I've made, and give me ideas I wouldn't have thought about otherwise, as far as like deflection shooting and energy fighting and stuff like that. So keep them coming. That's fantastic. That's why I keep doing this, and it's fun. So thanks again, and maybe I'll do better next time.